do an update and a follow-up on Chosen. And I want to talk about this because there's a great divide here, as there always is with human beings. But what a lot of people don't understand is Dallas is going through some tough legal matters. He's trying to keep the vision for what he is creating strong. And if you like The Chosen, great. If not, I mean, I don't know why people are so hell-bent and they seek out comment section of The Chosen, but they do. And it gives them some sort of gratification. I see them go back and forth. It's entertaining and it's sad at the same time. So what I wanted to do is go over the update, and we missed a huge discount. Even me. And by the time you see it, you've missed it as well. Don't worry. If it was going to be a sale and I knew it and it was still the night, I'd edit at least a short and drop that. That's what most people watch anyways. And you'd get the short that the sale was happening. So don't worry. I missed the sale too, but let's listen and see what he has to say.
Hey there. It is day one. In the midst of all the craziness of us trying to get season 4 to you, which I'll talk about in just a moment, and in the midst of all the craziness of The Chosen in general, all over the world, we are officially commencing day one of 68 days of filming here in beautiful Utah. The set is behind me. We have done our first rehearsal, and we are about to get going. It is unbelievable. I don't even know. I think I lose track of all this. I don't even know what we're doing anymore, but I do know that the scripts for season 5 have been completed. The response we've been getting from the cast and crew has been so cool. They've been saying this is the best season yet.
Perfect. So he's already letting everybody know, hey, we're moving forward. We got season 5 written in the bag. If I was an investor, if I were to give him money from a business standpoint, he's speaking, hey, we're moving forward. Yes, we have this legal matter, but we have season 5 that's ready to go. So we're already ready. We're done. Pretty much they could start shooting it whenever they get the scene set up. And they may have already have the scene set up. That's why he's out there in Utah. So this is a good sign. I'm glad to see that. That lets investors know it's a positive thing. Let's hear what he has to say.
Season 5, as you might know, covers Holy Week. But man, this is it takes longer than a week to film it, I can tell you that. And we are gearing up for it. I just ask for your prayers, for your support in all of this. It is pretty crazy. Now, too.
Yeah, he definitely needs our prayers. Moment of clarity. You want to have heart to heart here? Well, I mean, just about this. I hadn't thought about praying about The Chosen at all. I'm definitely going to be praying for Dallas and The Chosen. In addition to that, we need our works as well. Let's do what we can in our sphere to support The Chosen. You know, The Chosen has changed a lot of people's lives. What people say, you know, one of the comments was people are just like, he's adding stuff like, bro, the Bible this whole video would have been like 60 minutes long if we just did the red letter, like just the New Testament or whatever. I mean, I guess, yeah, it could be a little bit longer, but they're doing is not blasphemous. I don't believe it. I don't feel that way in my heart. Did you remember, you know, when I was looking for Christian content at one time, it was hard to find. And so when saying that, I don't want the people that I speak about to take it the wrong way. Well, I couldn't find anything, and I found these guys called skit guys. They had this one where God chisels you, and it's talking about, is it going to hurt? He's talking to God, and he's like, yeah, it's going to hurt a little. And he's like chiseling him, but it's going to make you better. And they're skit guys. Check them out. Maybe I got to definitely do a review on them because they were great when there was nothing out there that was like new and fresh for the most part. And I was searching for something fresh, or maybe I just didn't. If you were new and fresh back then and you're offended by that, I just didn't know how to find you. So, I mean, talk to the marketing company. Anyways, I was looking for stuff. I found these skit guys and they were pretending like that's what God would say. So is that blasphemous because they're trying to teach you an idea? I don't think so. And I don't think I want to be a part of whoever's got something like that's going on. Now, is God holy? Is he not to be played with? Absolutely. I'm right there with you. Do I think this is playing with God? No, I don't. What we're witnessing a lot of times in the comments section is that some people eat meat and some people eat vegetables. You can see in scriptures, we couldn't even figure that out. And one of the church leaders, whoever's book that was written in the New Testament. Sorry, I'm not recalling that off the top of my head, but was like, look, guys, chill out. I was like, let this person, if that's what they do, and if this person wants to eat meat, this person wants to eat vegetables, try not to offend your brother and do it in purpose. And that's all. Just do things in love. And I believe that The Chosen is made in love, and I fully support it. Haters gonna hate. That's what they do.
Celebrate season 5. It is April 11th, 4/11. So Bob, our gifts guy, decided, all right, well let's do a 41% discount on everything in the store except gift cards. So if you go to thechosengifts.com right now, www.thechosengifts.com. If you go to thechosengifts.com right now, everything in the store is 41% off all day, like up until midnight. So this is a little bit crazy. I think I don't know what he was thinking. I wasn't even going to give a discount that big, so you can thank him for it. 41% off everything in the store all the way until midnight. That includes pre-ordering the DVDs for season 4. Now, speaking of season 4.
And that's what we missed, ladies and gentlemen. Could have got half off the season. And I'm truly sad about that. I believe it's $29.99, and you don't know when they're coming, but they're coming. And that's what he's going to talk about next. And am I sad that I don't know when they're coming? No. Am I antsy about it? Yeah, I'll want to watch it just like everybody else. Is it in the movie theater? Yeah, but I want to watch all of it. And I want to watch it from the comfort of my home. I want to own it. I'm going to pay for it. I don't mind. I wouldn't mind lending it to relatives or paying for them to watch a couple of episodes and see how they like it. I really am behind. Obviously, you can see I do a lot of content on The Chosen, and I do that because I like The Chosen. This whole channel is about God, family, and country. We cover God a lot, and that's because God comes first, and it's really important. It's what helps me be a better family member and a better countryman, an American. The reason why this is so important to me is that it has been so instrumental adding just a layer of understanding. What you'll see about me, and if I'm your cup of tea, that's great. If not, that's all right. What you'll notice about me is when I wanted to do this channel is I wanted to be a Christian, and I wanted to talk besides just the Christianese. Like, yes, let's enjoy verses together. Let's enjoy Christian content. And let's also, like, person who, like, no matter what, it's a God moment. Meaning, like, yeah, so I had a taco. Speaking of this taco, it reminds me when Jesus, where they're not really a real person anymore. How long do you hold up this facade? And there's nothing wrong with being a super Christian. I'm all about being a super Christian. To me just means that you're fully bought in and you're living the life of Christ. I also am in business and have to have conversations that are not Christ-centered. But how I bring Christ everywhere with me is that I try to have a loving attitude, and I try to love God with all my heart, and I try to do good business. That's how I bring God into a moment without saying God in areas where it may not be appropriate to just say God's name when I'm doing a business deal for just no reason at all. I know that sounds kind of weird to say. Even as I say it, it's hard to say because I'm just like you. Anytime's a good time for God, right? He created this all. So as we're talking, we're using the breath in our lungs that comes directly from God. And I'm here with you on that. What I'm trying to explain is for this channel, I wanted to just be able to talk about whatever we're going to talk about. If that's philosophical, if that's scientific, I don't think none of those things are bad. If I don't have a Bible verse attached to everything, or if I talk about, recently on my channel, I talked about some crime that's going on. And to me, I thought it was important because I was like, well, this is really crazy what's going on. It looked like in Texas, there was a hit at a gas station. There was bullets flying. They were shooting at this car from this Dominican Republican's son was shot. And he was a political official, and his son was a rapper, but I don't think that there was, I don't know what was happening, but it looked like there was a hit. And I was just talking about, if this was a hit, that means that this was an international hit, that somebody came on U.S. soil, possibly, and ordered the hit. And with our border in demise, looking like a third world country, well, actually, isn't Korea third world and they have a better border than us? Looking like a fourth world, if that's even a thing, just looking like an open border, and us having situations like this just being really concerning and kind of raising awareness on the possible issues that we could have in the future. And I just want to be able to give that perspective. I want to have a conversation with you as a Christian, and whatever that conversation is, tough conversations, funny conversations, going on tangents, going down rabbit holes. Some things that you should know about me is I'm very philosophical, and I don't think that that's a problem. I've always wondered about the universe, God, science, and it's never drawn me to the conclusion that God's not real or I don't believe in God. It's just me studying. If God is real, whatever I'm studying is just about things that God has created. Anybody who says otherwise is just ridiculous. And we had those problems in the old church where, scientists were considered horrible by the Catholic Church, and they had a fear. They had a fear of loss. I really believe there was some pride, and there was some lack of faith, because to me, I don't care what you go out and try to determine in the world. Like I said, as a Christian, you don't have to be this vanilla, dull, whatever. You are allowed to be you, original, as long as it, aligns with the Word of God. I think that I had already talked about this, but I'll bring it up again because me, I love to repeat myself. There was a time where Kat Von D had brought up how judgmental we are in the church, and I was thinking about a time where people didn't like people with long hair in the church, and Jesus literally had long hair. Things like that. I definitely want to encourage your uniqueness that God has given you, of course, within the will of God, just being you and being who you are. And as I learn to get more comfortable with talking to myself, because I'm talking to somebody, but in the future, and I am not used to talking to myself, at least out loud. People in the corner make that look so easy, but not trying to make fun of those people, but I am trying to make a joke, because they're in my area, which we're planning on making a move, and hopefully it'll be a little bit better. But in my direct area, seeing somebody talk to themselves on a corner is not abnormal. In my area, the housing, speaking of Compton, like we did earlier, the houses in Compton are $500,000, some $1 million. Now there's some good parts, but there's some areas where it's just super sketch. Like, I don't think you'd move in, but you probably couldn't afford the mortgage on it either. Pretty interesting on what's going on in the world today. And that's something, like I said as well, that I'd love to talk to you about in the future. Is I want to talk about single family homes, coming from real estate, mortgage, business. There's a lot of things that I want to talk about on my channel. I wanted to do that because I wanted to say, hey, we can be normal Christian folk and also do all of these things. We can explore all of these things. We can enjoy all of these things that God has put here for us in life according to God's will and the way that he has it set up for us. So let's listen on. Thank you for listening to my tangent. Let's get back to The Chosen. Let's see what Dallas is doing.
Do I have an update for you?
What's up with the update?
I'm sad to say that the legal matters that we are dealing with for season 4 are still happening. But I will tell you that I've seen a few things online of people saying, oh man, it could be 6 months, or I don't even know if it's going to come out this year. That is not the case. It will be well before then. I can't give an exact date, but we are hopeful that it will be sometime in the near future. It's not going to be, let's just say this, like, how much can I say? It's not going to be 3 months, okay? It's not going to be that long. It will be shorter than that. I don't know exactly how short. We are working on it actively. We are working on it every day.
He's got a legal team. He can only say so much. So all of you guys right now that are commenting saying, why isn't Dallas being more forthcoming? He keeps saying this, he keeps saying that. Have you ever dealt with business and legality? Have you ever redlined a contract? Do you know what redlining a contract is? I'm going to tell you what redlining a contract is. So you get a contract and it goes back and forth between you guys, and you say, I don't like this. So you redline it and you change it, and then it goes back to them, and in Windows it's redlined so they know that you've made these changes, and then their lawyers look at it and it kind of goes back and forth. I did this for a clean energy company at one point, where it was a small company where we wore a lot of hats and we were redlining back and forth contracts. I got to look at some of those contracts. And so what's happening now is there's a contract based on their relationship. I believe it's with Angel Studios, and there are obligations that both of them went over, agreed to, and signed. And something either A has changed, or they felt like, hey, we need to make this move, we need to amend, or it wasn't in there and we didn't address it. Now they're in what's known as a arbitration. So when you're in arbitration, what happens is you're not out fully in court, but you're still in court arbitrating and having this conversation back and forth with your legal teams, trying to get a resolve. And why would all of this be happening? Because it comes down to one thing: the almighty dollar. That's right. The Chosen needs money. Angel Studios wants their money based on what they did. And there is a lot of speculation, and maybe I'll go into it. Gossip really irks me. So I try to get good content that is solid. 10 toes down, solid information that you can get. He's talking and he's being vague, but there's a reason why he's being vague. And it may be vague because he still doesn't know when. And he could say when, and that could throw the whole case off, because then the lawyer's like, oh, he thinks this is going to happen. They could be on the verge of coming to an amicable place where Angel Studios, the rest of the people, and the Chosen TV series and the company itself, the Chosen, are able to reach an agreement and we can all move on. So you have to be very delicate in these matters. And please know that. And if you don't know that, I told you, and it's all good. So let's move on. Let's see what he's got to say.
I promise you that no one is more frustrated by this than I am. No one wants to get this to you more quickly than I do. And I know you want to see it on streaming, and we're working on it. I promise you. In the meantime, theatrical release went great. The first 4 episodes are being shown by some churches and in prisons around the country. And the theatrical release of the first few episodes, in fact, for some countries, it's all 8 episodes.
Evangelism 101. Preach the gospel to the masses. Do you see what's going on here? Do you see what you're reporting? I mean, do you see what you're supporting? The gospel. I'm just excited about The Chosen. And I'm here waiting with you guys. I want to watch it with my family. And yeah, I went online and I was not able to see. I could not figure out how to buy a ticket. Somebody told me I could buy a ticket. I went online. I couldn't find it right off the bat. I went there and looked and I was like, where's the buy somebody a ticket? And maybe it disappeared. It was there and it's gone now. But
the theatrical release is continuing right now all over the world. So I know if you're in the States, that probably doesn't excite you too much, but man, multiple countries, even as I speak, certain countries are opening season 4. So I promise it will come to you. I promise. And as I've always said, it will be free as soon as we can get it to you. I promise we're working on it every single.
He's promising it's being free, and I hope these people aren't terrorizing Dallas Jenkins. He's got a lot of weight, and I hope that he's got a good heart. I mean, free costs money. Don't believe me? Them librarians are getting paid. Free costs money. So stop pretending like free doesn't cost money. I see a lot of comments on here and they act like free doesn't cost money. It costs money to be free. You just don't know it because you never ran something for free. You ever gave out some free food? Somebody had to buy that food, make that food, grow that food, etc., etc. So let's not be silly. Let's give our brother some grace. He's going through legal matters. Those that understand legal matters, maybe a lawyer. Maybe there's a Christian lawyer out there. Tap in the comments below. Let me know. Maybe we could talk about what could be going on in this arbitration. Maybe you know about, maybe this is your field of study and you're a Christian lawyer and you've watched this. Let's do an interview. Let's sit down and let's kind of explain to the people, enlighten them on what could be going on and how long or how quickly this could get resolved. The fact that he's speaking optimistically about a couple of months is great. There's been legal matters in movies that have shelved movies, point blank period, shelved. I don't think that'd be beneficial to anybody in this case. So the fact that they're talking about within 3 months is great.
Single day. So please continue to pray for that. Please continue to support in that. It really means a lot. So season 5, it's coming. We're working on it. And in the midst of all of this. So I appreciate you every single time that you spread the word about the show, every single time that you pray, every time you post about it on social media. It makes a difference. And I just shared that with the crew as we...
Did you hear that? You just said every time you post on social media, every time you share, it helps, it helps, it helps, it helps, it helps. This is the way. You guys know what's up. So share, like, comment, subscribe. Show your friends. Talk about it. Motion creates emotion. It's the human way. Like, we are built certain ways to react to certain things. You saw everybody going crazy over the eclipse. There's some stuff that was really very unfortunate. Check out my channel. On the short, I put a woman was talking about the eclipse, got weirded out by it, and then thought God was telling her to go on a shooting spree. I would call BS on that one. I would say, and that stands for baloney shoes, just in case you thought I was cussing. I got that from my father, who turned curse words into funny words like golly wally. I think that's a good replacement. That's what he would say. So it's a good thing to not have a filthy mouth, which I definitely did at one time. Maybe you could relate, or maybe you were perfect. Write a book about it. So you hear me say that a lot, because if you're perfect, like, you should be teaching us something, how to be perfect and stuff like that. But I'm going to learn from Jesus, so I do appreciate it. But maybe I'll, check the Cliff Notes out. So let's finish this up.
We opened the season. As we opened the day, I told the crew, I actually read a note from a fan. I talked to the crew about how fortunate we are to get to do this. And we get to do this because of you. The very fact that we're standing here, when a free show, for a free show around the world, that we're still able to do this
around the world
and increase the production every year and pay our cast and crew and all our equipment and all that stuff, is because you choose to either pay for it in some way or to donate in some way or spread the word, and that means everything. So thank you so much. Remember, it's not your job to provide the loaves and it's not your job to feed the 5,000. It's your job to provide the 5 loaves and 2 fish. I appreciate you.
Dallas Jenkins. And we're going to react more to The Chosen. I'm going to do a whole Chosen thing again, because I like The Chosen. I mean, let's keep the energy. Guys, I got to go spend some time with my family. It's Friday night here. That means that's movie night. So I'm going to go sit down with my daughter, my wife, and I'm going to have a little bit of scripture, and then we're going to watch a movie, and we're going to hang out. You guys stay blessed. Love each other. Make good footprints, good fingerprints for the Lord. God bless y'all. God, family, country. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate y'all, and I appreciate you guys as you see me growing more and more into who I truly am, and being able to talk to myself and be myself as if you were right here, which I'm getting used to. God, family, country, you guys stay blessed. Thanks again.